Hi there. Thanks for joining me today. I have a little bit of work to do on Miss Sybil. And I thought, let's turn on the camera and work on her together. I have a feeling this means I'm not going to be able to get Sybil and New Worlds to Conquer ready for my Etsy shop probably until tomorrow. There's a lot of work involved in recording a flip through, taking photos for Etsy, setting up the listing for Etsy. I might be able to get it done. So never say never. But just in case this is either one of these books is something that maybe you have your eye on. I'm just saying. I'll try. I can't say for sure. We never know, because we're going to have a little family breakfast, birthday breakfast for hubby on Sunday, today. So I say today. This is actually Saturday, but you'll be seeing it on Sunday. So anyhow, I'm going to do a little bit of work on Sybil, as I said. I keep coming back to, I feel something there, that's better. I keep coming back to Kate Greenaway whenever I sort of look at her and think about what I want to do, and the picture, the dramatic picture of the lady coming out the door. And this is actually from the text block, and it's an old book. It's 1879. So I kept coming back to Kate Greenaway. I had a few Kate Greenaway fussy cuts already fussy cut. They're up here. They were all kind of big. I need tiny for this dainty little book. And so I have this book of days that's illustrated by mostly by Kate Greenaway. So I went through it. I picked out the ones I like. It's really an ideal book because I don't want to bulk this up too much. I've used flat lace for that reason on the edges. And the paper is really ideal for fussy cutting because it's a little thick, if you can hear that. And it's off-white, which I love, bonus. And the illustrations are small and delicate. So it's going to mean quite a bit of fussy cutting for me, but some things will be simple. Because it's a nice thickness, a picture like this will make a nice little tuck spot without having to reinforce it. It's already thick enough that it will be able to hold a little tuck of a note or something to that effect, and look pretty. So in that way it simplifies things too, and that way I can stay true to what I was sort of thinking in the back of my head that I want for this really pretty little book. I'm just looking for the little lady and see what she's into. You're being a good girl. Have a nap. Yeah, right. Now, there's going to be a lot of inking. I'm sure you're shocked. I think I'll start with coffee, and if I need to go darker, we'll go from there. I may pause as I fussy cut because that can just be tedious. So let me get some paper. Some of these are already to go because they've been from other projects and didn't get used. So I have some that are fussy cut already. Such pretty little illustrations, and she really loved drawing mothers and children. So this appealed to me first and foremost. It was on the introduction page that listed the publisher and the important book information. The publisher was actually in there. I took a photo of it. I'll put it on Instagram. But I just thought those two ladies with their little Mayflowers would be perfect to put right there, and have them circling around and emphasizing the 1879. So that's my first thing to do. So distress inking something this tiny and delicate requires a tiny, delicate brush and a delicate hand. That part is hard for me. Now, lately I have been in the mood to have no little white edging border left when I fussy cut. But there's no avoiding it when you're fussy cutting something this tiny and this delicate. I really, for me at least, it's just not safe. And I do think that this will also help emphasize the little illustration. So I've left a little bit of an edge there when I cut it out, and I'll do it with the other ones that I will fussy cut. Obviously I won't need to with the square ones, but I still might leave a little edge and then ink that. I'm not ruling that out. Now, normally if this had been a little bit bigger, that little area under her arm, I would get out my pane of glass and my X-Acto knife and cut that little window out. I'm just putting a little bit of ink in there so it recedes. There we go. This is where we make sure ahead of time. I'm saying this to remind myself. I know you know this, but I don't always remember things, especially this important thing, to make sure my art glitter glue is ready to go. Sometimes first thing in the morning, it's still sleepy. So I'm just going to test it on a little scrap of paper and make sure it's ready. And then I'm also going to have my tweezers ready so that I can lay it down where I want it, and that's easier. With tiny delicate things, it's easier with tweezers. And I'm going to get this ready with a rock. I love my rocks, my river rocks that I stole from our backyard. This is so tiny, those little globs will sort of mush out and fill in wherever needs to fill in. It's just not that big to have to be overglued. Now I wonder if I can do this without those. I'm going to drop it lightly so that I can make sure I've got it where I like it. I'm not too worried if a little bit of glue drops on the paper. It's art glitter glue and it dries clear. It's not shiny the way 3-in-1 and Fabri-Tac is shiny. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I want. And they're wearing green dresses. And the flowers that she's got trailing down are yellow, and their little straw hats are yellow. Now I'm very happy. It's just a little, and she's peeking out from in behind so that she's going, what's going on in there? And there they are. That's what's going on in there. So now I know for sure, I think, how's that? How's that for a firm decision? I think I'd like this to be a little tuck spot on the very last page because she's got a lantern and the moon is out and it looks like she's making her way home. And I think if I've got room, and I do, I think I'd like to put her right here. So again, we'll get out the rock. There. And, oh, see, I'm going to dry that up and it's going to be blocked and it'll be my own fault. There we go. So hubby's working today. He works one Saturday out of the month. Today's his day. So I'm just going to use this. I can get a nice straight edge, and I will put a little bit of a border on it. But I'm just going to eyeball it. If I sneeze, I apologize. I can feel one trying to decide if it wants to explode or not. There we go. A little colder today, but they say by the end, later on next week, it's going up to 10 Celsius, and it's February. My goodness, the weather is weird. 10 Celsius in February in Canada. And not British Columbia. British Columbia can have milder temperatures than certainly my area of Canada. I say can because it's having its share of wacky weather too. There, yeah, I like that. So it's just going to be a tuck spot, not a pocket. I wonder if I can... No, I did glue it. Oh, then no, I do want it over here. I'm going to see if I can lift these little petals so I can tuck it underneath. I simply used 3-in-1 to put this lace down. And I just want those little outside petals to lay on top. sure I didn't. Good, okay. Yeah, that's better. So how far along we get today, I don't know. You know the rules. It's 30 minutes of my day or so. I've got to be careful. This is that really beautiful straw paper. And I don't want to hurt it. You know who. I don't want to say her name because she seems to have settled herself. Has been quite a little stinker this morning. I guess animals are just like humans, and sometimes we can just wake up in a mood. And boy, did she wake up in a mood. It's been a little stinker. There, that's better. I'm happy with that. There. So it's strong enough to hold a piece of paper, a little note. If I backed it onto, file folder type material, that's when I'll start bulking up this little book, and it's not what I want. So here are my types of pages where you know that I like to put just little ladies here and there. I don't want to take up the whole page because that's for you to do. I can't imagine it would be any fun to receive a journal that's already done. You gotta be able to make it your own. So, go around the edge. So this is just coffee. Just a little delicate shading. Make it stand out a bit. So, although the official day was yesterday, we're going to have our birthday dinner together tonight for hubby. And I said, "What do you want for your birthday dinner?" And he's so cute. He wants Chinese food. And he's so sensible. He said, "Think about it. It's perfect because we can enjoy it tonight, and then we don't have to cook tomorrow when I go missing into the basement to watch the Super Bowl, and I can just come up and reheat leftovers." And I thought, you know what, that is rather sensible. So it's Chinese food. I find now, as empty nesters, my goodness, there once was a time my oven was going, especially at birthday season. We had 5 birthdays. Of the 7 of us in our family, 5 of the birthdays were within 4 weeks of each other. 4 weeks? yeah, 4 weeks and a couple days. And my oven was going constantly. I've baked many a birthday cake, or else whatever it was they wanted. My children didn't always want cake for their birthday. Sometimes they wanted lemon squares. Sometimes they wanted trifle. Trifle was very popular. My daughter Emily just loved Jell-O, so she was quite easy. I tried my best most of the time to make sure that my twins each got their own cake on their birthday, even though they celebrated on the same day and loved to celebrate on the same day and still celebrate. They still will get together and celebrate. I should have moved a little faster with that, but I think it's going to be okay. So I think I only have one photo where they had a shared cake, but otherwise I tried my best to, not only that, but if they wanted different things for their dinner, to cook the two dinners. Because usually Emily also wanted homemade chicken noodle soup, and Jordan would like something different. So I tried my best to even, so just so that, you know, it was their birthday. And yes, it's very special to share a birthday. I remember that. I got to share with my dad. I can't imagine sharing with a sibling. But with yeah, that would look nice on there. With some of the others, that was a little easier. I'd have a few days break before the oven got going again. I might just use my knife and a ruler. It was the 4 weeks of baking. Boy, oh boy. But you know what? I wouldn't change it for the world. Josh always wanted trifle. Sometimes they just wanted cake. Sometimes they wanted cookie pizza. Sometimes blonde brownies. I have a feeling I need to change that blade. But now, anyhow, see, I got off topic. With just the two of us to bake doesn't make sense for a number of reasons. First of all, because there's only two of us. That's a little crooked. There's only two of us, and plus my sweetie pie is diabetic, so he can have a little treat. His diabetes is very well controlled. He's very good about watching his numbers and his diet and that. But his doctor always says, if it's a treat and it's once in a while, by all means, absolutely enjoy. So, fortunately, I went to the grocery store this morning. Our local grocery store has a really, really good bakery in it. They make the best cannolis. Oh, their cannolis are so good. If I had my way, I would have got cannolis, but they weren't ready yet when I was there. You can tell I'm not the pro at this, that Nancy is. My Nancy, boy oh boy, she and her knife. Whew. Maybe that comes from being a nurse. Maybe she was secretly a surgeon and didn't tell any of us. Anyhow, they did have tiny little carrot cakes, and he loves carrot cake with cream cheese frosting. So I was able to get, it's only like, honestly, that big, so maybe 6 inches in diameter, and it's all frosted and it's got coconut around the side. And they were happy to put a little happy birthday on it, and so I think he'll be surprised that I actually got a teeny tiny little birthday cake for him, and we can both have a little piece and maybe a little leftover. And then tomorrow morning, birthday breakfast over at his daughter's. It's nice to do breakfast with the little grandchildren. They're awake, they're hungry, they've usually had a good night's sleep, whereas you try to do a dinner and little ones, they can be pooped and had enough by then. Breakfast is great. So I think we're having pancakes and fruit and nice little breakfast over there, so we're looking forward to that for his birthday. Yeah, that's nice. And that gives another little tuck spot. I didn't put my pin back in. I don't want this glooping out the sides, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a pre-smoosh. There we go. Thank you to everyone for your well wishes for our grandchild who was so sick. Ended up down in, we have a world famous hospital. Thank goodness we were close to it. And this grandchild was transported by ambulance down to the hospital for sick children in Toronto. That's how sick she was. Your child needs to be very sick to end up in a transport down to, there we go, down to Sick Kids, it's called. Affectionately here, it's known as Sick Kids. It's world famous, and a lot of famous doctors have worked there. Banting worked there. Sick Kids is responsible for discovering the, the DNA mutation for cystic fibrosis. Sick Kids did the first surgery on my eyes when I was little. And I went to Sick Kids after my initial surgery. I think I was about 14 months old, maybe a little older. Yeah, I was a little older, but I was under 2. And then I went every single year till I was 19 years old. I think that was the cutoff date for when you suddenly become an adult. And I had to go to their ophthalmological clinic. And they were wonderful there. I looked forward to that day so much. My mom we'd get up early and we'd head downtown. We'd get to ride on the subway, and because my birthday's in November, we always went around my birthday. It was easier to remember. So I'd get to go into Eaton's and Simpson's and look through the toy department and dream about what I'd like. Yeah, let's put a pocket on this page. And dream about what I'd like, and then if Santa was there at the time, I could, that's kind of big. I was thinking of using this as a pocket. This one's better. Here, we'll use this one. I could let Santa know. The problem was they'd dilate my eyes, so I'd always hope that that would wear off in time so that I could see the, oh, my timer's going, so that I could see the toys better. when we'd go through the toy department, because otherwise, you know what it's like when they dilate your eyes. Everything's blurry. Oh, I used to hate that. I don't have to get them dilated anymore, so that's nice. Anyhow, so our... Oh boy, I need to practice this. I think I need a fresh blade. My daughter was saying that as soon as she walked in, she said, "Mom, the energy here is so different. It feels like miracles happen here." And I loved when she said that, because that's how we were feeling. We wanted a miracle. And boy, oh boy, the staff was amazing. Our grandchild saw 11 different doctors. And of the 11 different doctors, 10 were women. Isn't that amazing? What a change in the world. I had heard that women were now outnumbering, female students were now outnumbering male students in medical school. And Nancy was telling me it's also in law school as well. So that's pretty amazing. I think it's still going to take us a while to catch up, but it's a good thing. Get a little more balance with the staff. There we go. Okay, fresh blade. Let's finish this and then we'll finish up, because I can see my timer went off and I'm going to use the wider side. I shouldn't be using the thin side. I bet you're all yelling at your camera saying, "Stop using the thin side, use the wide side." Or use a quilting square. I have a quilting square, but it's so big and bulky. It drives me nuts. So, anyhow, the good news is home. There's still a lot of follow-up appointments. That's fine. We'll take it if it means home. Something about sleeping in your own bed with your family around you. Because it's the whole family is stressed too. The siblings worrying about their sibling. There we go. So yeah, what started off as, this child had been sick for quite a while. It took a while before it got to the point where they had said, "All right, enough. Time for sick kids." So the week started off stressful and ended on a happy note. And that's a nice thing. Nice way to go into the weekend, feeling relief. Go to bed at night and go, all right. You know what I need to do? I need to move. This paper is from 1940, but where I want to put it is going to cover up my little pencil mark. So 1940. I'm going to erase that 1940. There we go. Then we'll glue this in, and then I shall bid you adieu. Probably the next time you see Sybil, she will be all adorned. Look at that. See, it's my own fault. I didn't put the pin back in. Next time you see Sybil, she will be all adorned and hopefully looking lovely, and maybe a pretty little spring journal. That's nice because then the shorthand still shows up there. I only covered up the regular words. Who needs regular words? Shorthand's way more fun to look at. Right? So there we go. I've got a lot more to do. I've got a lot more to fussy cut. So, but that's what makes my heart happy today. So thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We might get together later. If I can get some work done here, perhaps you'll see me later. If I can get flip through done. We'll see. And if not, Monday, or if not Monday, Tuesday. It's just nice to relax now. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye.